Hi, this is Jennifer Scrapping Cane. Today I'm showing an 11 by 8.5 layout for the scrap room. This is my first layout of September and I'm using 49 and Market Nature's Haven, which is the top left hand corner collection. This is flavors of the month along with pattern papers and the extra embellishment kit. So there's 3 kits that I'll be showing. I'll tell you which ones come with what. This here is flavors of the month embellishments that I'm opening right now, and I was so excited that I got a few of the little cute frames, and then I got a lot of pieces that are just cute. Like you can just tuck them in as little extra, a tag and little wordy bits, another tag, the cute little strawberries, and that little circle die cut there. And then I got 2 of the frames, which both of those frames make it on today's layout. I have a cute little photo of my niece when she was 21 months old sitting outside of my mom's house. And I'm really glad I have this picture in documenting it because my mom's house actually looks nothing like this photo anymore. So it's kind of funny to see how it's changed over the years, considering that was 28 years ago. She's 30 years old now, so yeah, it's been a while. I love these papers by 49 and Market, and this one here is just so cute with the quilt paper on the back side of it. This is 2 pieces of cardstock that are like a off-white cream color, and then they match perfectly with the papers. This one here is a ledger on the other side. I absolutely love a ledger. And then another gingham. And I love this side too, though. So easy to use 49 and Market. I love 49 and Market. In the embellishment add-on kit, we got rub-ons, which I love also. And I get a few of those on the layout. So we're going to get started with the layout. And here I just have a page protector for 11 by 8.5. And I'm putting it over the top to see where I need to trim the paper. And I want to use it pretty much how it's laid out. I'm going to change it just a little bit. But at first, what I do is I put it on the page protector, or I put the page protector over it so I can see what I can cut off and then how I can incorporate the other pieces either back on it or add different papers to it. So for this one, I'm trimming it down to 8.5 by 11 first, and then I'm going to tear the bottom paper that I cut off. And basically, I want to add that right back on, but I need to do something to make it look like, it's not going to have just a straight line. So by tearing it, that adds a nice little edge and it gives it a little bit of extra detail. And I wasn't sure I was going to use this side. I will bring it in later on. At first, I thought I was going to use a different paper, but I will bring that one back in a little bit later. Right now, I'm just trying to cut the branding strip off. I don't know why I didn't do that first, but I never do anything in the right order. I always make it a little extra work. I did keep that piece. It's just yellow on the other side, but sometimes, you can just use that little scrap. So here you can see it's covering up the pieces at the bottom that don't really look like they belong, I guess. There's not enough detail of them. Sorry, got interrupted. Anyways, so down at the bottom, I want to add back the piece of paper that actually belongs to make it look like the rest of the paper. So at first, I thought I was going to use this green gingham at the bottom, but I'll decide not to because it's a little bit too bright. And I think you'll know what I'm talking about once I start putting the layout together and why I traded it out. But I want to cover up that bottom part as much as possible, but I didn't think the other piece was going to work. But in the end, the other piece does work, but you'll see that a little bit later on. Sorry if I'm rambling on. I didn't know I left all this detail in. Usually sometimes I just kind of cut it out, but I wanted to show exactly how I use the 12 by 12 papers in an 8.5 by 11 layout. or an 11 by 8.5 in this case. But I really enjoy the smaller size layouts. One, it's easier to store them than it is for 12 by 12, and it's less expensive. So that's the reason why I use 8.5 by 11. But anyways, so here you can see I decided to flip that paper over and use um, the basically the quilt paper is what I'm using. I'm using just a small piece of that quilt paper. And I cut into the quilt paper because you will see here in a minute when I get ready to start doing the embellishments, I also used it to back the, oh, what is that called? Movie reel. And that was what the circle die cut was that I showed in the ephemera pack. I didn't realize that at first when I was showing it. I just thought it was a circle, but it actually had all the little squares that punch out of it. So then I backed it like you would a cut file. So this one here, I'm going to frame with the cute little wood frame, which I think is adorable. I'm going to pop it up on play foam. And I cut my play foam up in little strips just so that it doesn't curl up eventually. Sometimes play foam will curl up over time. That's the only downfall I've found to it. Other than that, it holds over time. I haven't had any issues with it like seeping out color or anything like that. It's just that sometimes it curls up over time. So here I'm putting a little bit of baker's twine on my tag. This is just black and white. And she's wearing cream colored pants and then a green little vest over a black turtleneck. So all of the colors are in the photo except for the red. But I think the red just helps everything else pop. And I just love this collection. I actually didn't buy this collection because I wasn't sure I would use it. Even though I absolutely love it, I was like, I don't know that I have photos of it. I don't really go strawberry picking or anything like that, so I wasn't sure if that would work. And I was like, what would I use it for? And then it came in the flavors of the month, and I was so happy because at least I get to play with it a little bit, even if it's not for strawberry picking or anything. And it turned out super cute with this cute little photo. And I only have this one little photo of her sitting on the porch. So there's that movie reel that I was talking about. I backed it with the red gingham paper from that quilt sheet. And then the cute little strawberries. I'm going to add my little title piece, and it just says The Simple Life. And I just added that right on top of that little tag with the strawberries. Now I'm cutting out the butterflies from the rub-ons. There's 3 of them on here, so I'm going to cut all 3 of them out. And I'm not sure I put any other rub-ons. I think the butterflies are the only rub-ons I pull out for this layout. I haven't played with this collection yet again, but I do plan on playing with it at least one more time during the month of September. And I definitely will use those rub-ons. So here I'm just gluing everything down with a little bit of liquid glue. And, oh, I am going to cut one more rub-on. Which one do I cut? Oh, just that little like mixed media type of rub-on. And then, oh, I know the stitches. That's what I cut. It looks like sewing thread. And I cut those out to add at the top and the bottom. And I decided that was a nice little detail to add a little bit more of the mixed media look. It also adds another layer. Even though it's going directly on the paper, it adds just a little bit extra detail. And I love that. So that's what I did there. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach my photo down. I do ATG and liquid glue when I do the play foam, and that the ATG will stick right now, but the liquid glue will help it stick long term. So here I'm going to add the little movie reel in also. And then the other little frame I backed with that other scrap piece of paper that actually was from the bottom of this paper. So I just thought those little flowers were so pretty, and I decided they could go right in that little frame. They fit perfectly. And I'm going to use some letters from my stash, Doodlebug ones, and I'm going to put 21 months inside of that little frame. And that's just her age at the time. Yep, here's the little, these are the letters actually. These are from Pink Fresh, and these are just from my stash. So you could use any letters from your stash if you want it to do the same thing. I'm going to add her name, which is Monique, up here at the top. And that's just to add a little something. Every once in a while, I like adding, if I'm doing a layout for my sons or my nieces and nephews, I like adding their name because I just think it's cute and it tells you who they are. Since their layouts are all in, their own albums, they each have their own album. Each one of my nieces and nephews and my great nieces and nephews all have an album that I just throw random layouts in, and hopefully one day they will enjoy them. As of right now, I haven't given any of them their layouts, but one day I plan to. So I added the little butterfly rub on, and that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's layout. I definitely enjoyed creating it and playing with the 49 and Market goodies. It's always such fun papers, and I just love them. They're so pretty. And I love the way that the torn paper looks at the bottom of this layout. I'll leave links down below so that you can check out the Scraproom kits. And please like and subscribe if you're here on my channel or on the Scraproom channel. We appreciate it. Bye!